Let's chop this fable. Let's chop this fable. Why East Coast artists are going back to boom pap. It's YJ, and I got three things on my notepad here. I take notes now. Three reasons why East Coast artists are going back to boom pap. Reason number one, which I feel is totally correct in what they should be doing when it comes to East Coast artists. We talking about Philly, we talking about the DMV area, even though people up there they don't like the term DMV a lot. People in different areas from that area, Philly, New York, New Jersey, uh, New York City, upstate, Buffalo, all that. Pittsburgh, I might even include them. We're seeing a resurgence of boom pap in history. Popularity though, like some of these artists, like the Benny the Butchers. Some of these artists are actually gaining notoriety doing a style of hip hop that is traditionally their own. Reason number one why East Coast artists are going back to boom bap for me is geographical identity. When I talk about geographical identity, I'm talking about your region and where you're from having an actual sound where people hear it and they automatically know you're from this area. You're talking this slang. Your production is a certain type of production, which right now we're talking about boom pap. We're not talking about anything else. One thing about boom pap, it makes you focus on the lyrics. It makes you focus on the words, the talent. You cannot get popular in this niche of hip hop, in which I can't even call it a niche really, because this is hip hop. Like, this is in its purest form. This is what hip hop is. Historically, you cannot get popular in this realm of hip hop if you do not have talent. I said I wasn't going to talk about any other, but let's go there. In the West, with that sound, you can get popular on the West if you're not talented. You can get popular in the South if you're not talented. When we talk about boom bap and we talk about growing a fan base from this sound, the listeners of this sound value lyricism. So if you have no lyricism and you're doing this type of sound, you're probably not going to be well liked. Now, there's always the unicorn. Some would say Old Dirty Bastard wasn't talented. Now, there's talent in not having talent. I'm going to leave that there. I'm not even going to go in. But there's unicorns in every situation. Across the board, though, when it comes to you getting on these booms and these paps, you got to be able to lyrically provide for the audience. That's number one. Geographical identity. When it comes to it, yes, there's a time where this identity I felt was starting to get lost in translation. I do feel like that. Like I feel like at a certain point, New York started to see what the South was doing, see what everybody's getting popular off of, and started to kind of bend their tradition. And we're seeing a resurgence, as I said, when it comes to artists like who we see on the screen, Benny the Butcher, in which I feel like him and Conway the Machine are kind of like the cornerstones of boom pap in 2024. Neo boom bap, you could call it if you want, because it's a slight blend. Now, so geographical identity. There was a point Trick Daddy in Florida and Trina, they had a sound. Florida had their sound. Texas even had a sound that was different from Atlanta. Cali had a sound, in which they still do have a sound. They still, I feel like Cali's geographical identity, it started off and it was a little more East Coast driven. A little bit, but not too much. I'm speaking of the corrupts and you know artists like that who kind of, yeah, they came from certain type of backgrounds, and that's just what it was. This was hip hop. That's what they were doing. So I respect that as well. But when you look at the South, you're not seeing too many Southern artists coming out with traditional hip hop sounding songs because they have their geographical identity. Their environment crafted this country rap. We talk about from UGK country rap tunes. He said, you know, Pimp C said, look, we ain't trying to sit up here and lyrical, miracle, hysterical with you niggas. We putting out these country rap tunes. We don't give a damn. Geographical identity. That's number one reason why East Coast artists are going back to boom bap. Number two, the success of Griselda, TDE, Dreamville. When I just say those three names, there's a whole litany of artists who encompass what I'm talking about. Griselda, Conway, Benny, TDE, K Dot, Isaiah Rashad, like the Blue Lips Project, Schoolboy. You got the Herbert Project, Ab Soul over on TDE, Dreamville, J. Cole, JID. These are artists who are having success doing boom bap. What is traditionally seen as, oh, that's that old shit. We don't listen to that shit no more. These are nationally successful artists. That's reason number two. And what comes with reason number two is the monkey see, monkey do. Monkey see, monkey do. A lot of people, they see something successful. They see it going on. And they're like, hey, I can do this too. So you got a Benny the Butcher and all the artists that I just named, and them being successful, there's going to be other people that, you know, on the East Coast, like, look, I ain't got to confine my shit to, you know, making some Southern sounding shit just to get on the radio. I can do what I'm doing and still get a fan base. Reason number two is success within boom bap and its effects that make other people do it more. So, and we seen that in the South. The success of the Southern sound is, I think, a reason why some of the NY artists started to get on that type of production, because they seen how successful it is. They go to the club, they like, damn, I go to the club and I'm hearing more Southern production than New York production. Or, you know, geographically identified NY East Coast production headbangers. And, you know, and this is not to say that East Coast they had no club anthems, because they did. But it around the time Migos came around and all that, man, look, I'm going to move on. Reason number three why East Coast artists are going back to boom bap. And I feel like this one just has to do with simply tradition, paying homage. What did you listen to? Benny the Butcher did an interview about this. And matter of fact, let me play this right now. It's like that's what he know. Like these people are. That's he grew up around this. He grew up in this, listening to this, hearing these sounds, hearing these samples, and that's what he took to. And I feel like you shouldn't dismiss what you know because of what's popular. But yeah, man, I changed my mind. I'm not gonna play no clip because I don't even want to find it. I got the timestamp right here, and I really just don't want to find it because I feel like it's not needed. I told you what he said, and you could believe me that he said it or not. Yeah, man, I got other shit to do, man. You know, this is not a full time job. It's only part time. So I'm gonna get at y'all later, man. Those were the three reasons why East Coast artists are going back to boom pap. Keep going back. Boom boom. What? Boom boom. What? Yeah, man. YJ, I'm up out of here.